welcome back. I am your host, Susanna May O'Hagan, and today we are gonna do an ATI. Okay, ATI for blowing up at my parents for something my adult sister did. Ooh, sibling drama, sibling drama. Siblings. If you don't have one, be thankful. They can be lovely and awful at the same time. I, 26 female, have a sister Amy, 28 female, who always had a difficult relationship with food. She was bullied as a kid and turned to food for comfort. As an adult, she struggled with self-control, especially around things she finds appetizing. Our parents have never set boundaries with her around food, and that's carried into adulthood. She currently lives with them, and they do all the grocery shopping and cooking. My husband, 28 male, recently had a birthday, and I planned a surprise party. I sent him out of the house for a few hours so I could set up and asked my parents to come help. I specifically asked them not to bring Amy. Setting up involved putting out snacks, drinks, and a handmade cake with frosting. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I wish I could eat some of that. They showed up with Amy anyway, saying it wouldn't be fair to exclude her. I gave her a few small tasks and specifically asked her not to touch any of the food until guests arrived, but I was too busy to keep a constant eye on her. At one point, I went into the kitchen and found Amy with the fridge open, eating the frosting out of the mixing bowl. You've got to be kidding me, girl. She had eaten half of it. Oh, wow, that's just wow. As soon as she saw me, she bursted into tears and said she only meant to try a little but couldn't stop. I'm curious if she has something where she can't control herself, but I don't know. My parents heard us and came in. My mom said it wasn't that big of a deal since the cake was untouched and I still had enough frosting for a crumb coat. But I had planned to do specific cake decorations and now there wasn't enough frosting. I don't have time or ingredients to make more. My dad suggested going to the store to buy a tub of pre-made frosting, saying it was the same thing. No, it's not. Two, you shouldn't be in someone else's fridge unless they say, hey, would you like something? And then you could go in their fridge, but you shouldn't be going to other people's fridges. Unless you live there, paid for it, don't go in other people's fridges. I'm learning this from this week. Do not go in other people's fridges unless they say it's okay. And do not touch something unless you ask, because I just talked about another thing with a girl going in a fridge and it was a whole problem. And store-bought versus homemade is a little different. My dad said to just not tell him since he wouldn't even know the difference. That suggestion was super frustrating me. I told my parents that they could convince me that this was no big deal and that they had allowed this by not setting boundaries with Amy, binge eating, and by bringing her to set up. They told me to back off and be more sensitive to my sister and that it wasn't her fault. I responded by saying that I was more angry at them because at least Amy felt bad while they were trying to downplay a situation. They got upset and said it wasn't fair to blame them for Amy's choices and that she was an adult and they can't control her. They also said that they were trying to help by giving suggestions and that I was being stubborn by shutting all of them down. They ended up leaving and now they're giving me the silent treatment even though Amy had apologized for eating the frosting. AGI for involving them in this? No, your parents should have set this boundary years ago. Two, they should get her some help because it sounds like Amy herself does not want this. I think any person who... I have a strange relationship with food as well, and I gotta say, it sucks. I've had it where I don't want to eat it. I've had it because I was anorexic and bulimic. Then I've had it where I've overeaten, even when I'm not hungry, and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't want this. I'm not hungry. Why am I eating? And then there's days where I hardly eat. And I bet this poor girl, your sister, doesn't know what to do. I think she should help her find a nutritionist, a food therapist, and maybe work on the right way to eat food. And trust me, that's hard because I know. And yeah, her parents should have taught her by now. So it did become a huge problem as an adult. That's the thing. Like, people forget. Once you hit adulthood, people don't want to help you as much. So you gotta try to nip it in the bud as a kid. I'm learning this because I've had family members who were told, oh, you could get help once they became an adult. Never mind. Let's see what the readers or writers or whatever you want to call them say. Welcome to the Am I the Please Vote. Okay. Do. Not. You are not. You knew this could be a problem. You asked your parents to leave Amy at home. Your parents refused. You asked them to keep her out of the kitchen. They refused. Amy ruined your plans for the cake, and your parents gave unhelpful suggestions. And they're mad because you're right, because you spoke up. Nope. I have a sibling like this, where even if they're wrong, my parents are like, oh, it's okay. My family's like, oh, it's nothing. Don't be mad at him. And it's like, why wouldn't I be mad at what they just did? What they just did was horrible. Or it could have been a month ago. It was horrible. Like, no. You can't always... You have to... When parents let their kids get away with it. I'm trying to even do it with my own kid, and they're still like, don't say that to her. It's easy to forgive someone for being wrong than it is to forgive them for being right. Got to love how they tried to guilt OP by saying, don't blame Amy. And then when OP goes, I'm not mad. I am not. I'm blaming you. They turn around and blamed Amy. Oh, there's more replies. Do we want to read more replies? No, I'm curious. That needs to be cross-stitched on a sampler. Full disclosure, I read it in a Harry Potter book. I bet sis is obese and needs intervention. Okay. You caught that one, eh? One of the biggest problems with enablers, they don't want to blame the person with the addiction. They don't want to blame themselves for enabling it. I came to say the same thing. Amy needs therapy, though. Not just unhelpful, but enabled Amy and insulting to OP's husband. All it does is show Amy she can do whatever she wants and never face repercussions for her behavior. That others may be hurt from her own selfishness, and it doesn't matter because they can just deal with it because mommy and daddy coddle her. Actually, Amy apologized. And from what my pictures, Amy was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't even realize. Like, I feel like Amy herself really wants help, but since no one's giving it to her, she's not sure what to do. She needs serious help with this complication, not to be treated like a child that can get away with treating others badly because she cried to her parents. She didn't cry to her parents, though. That's the problem. She apologized. The parents said, oh, it's no big deal. Or Amy's like, I'm so sorry. Opie doesn't just have a sister problem. She has a parent problem. I'd recommend low to no contact until they can prove that they care about her and her feelings as much as Amy's. I would be absolutely livid and kick them all out of the house before they could leave on their own. And telling them not to come back until they decide OP and her husband deserve a basic respect. Right? No accountability. I'm fat. I overindulge, but I never steal someone else's food just because I want it. If my wife and I buy something to share, I never eat more than my share ever. Okay. See, now I don't know why it does that. I've seen a lot that morbidly obese people regress back into childhood behavior. No self-control, instant gratification, no needs a desire that other care for them. Sister has learned that she needs to open the water gates to manipulate the people around her. OP says sister uses food as a crutch whenever she feels bad. How bad does she feel? Or was it just a plan and simple greed? I feel like the sister needs help. You could go with your parents, but maybe try to get your sister some help if you can. Because she sounds like she doesn't know what to do. And yeah, I have my own issues with food, but I don't eat other people's food. A. B. I'm allergic. I have sensitivities to a lot of food. C. I'm a vegetarian. So, like, and also, like, I wouldn't go to someone else's house and just open up their fridge. Not unless, like, I really knew them and they were okay with it. And I'd be like, oh, what am I allowed to eat? And even then I'd be like, I'd be looking for water, probably. Like, I'd be looking for, like, a drink. Like, is there a water? Like, I barely like going in my great-grandmother's fridge, let alone any, like, a neighbor or friends. I agree, I'm definitely on the curb side. When it's my own food, I don't seem to be able to stop. When I have a large pizza, sometimes I eat until I'm sick. Ooh, I miss pizza. Y'all are making me hungry for things I can't eat unless I have, like, a special version. Maybe one day. I'm going to see a food therapist, I hope. I would say she has both a sister and a parent problem. Okay, I would say you're not the problem. You are not the problem. I would say it's the parents. I don't know if your sister is the problem. I can't tell if your sister doesn't, like, she doesn't know how to, like, express herself, and because her parents aren't helping, I don't know. It's a little concerning to me, because sometimes if you don't get the help you need, then you get worse. Amy is not selfish, otherwise she wouldn't have cried and apologized. I mean, people who are selfish cry and apologize too when they get caught. Crying doesn't mean someone is sincere. Either way, I hope Amy gets help and builds a happier, healthier relationship with food. She cried because she got caught and OP was mad at her. She may or may not have felt guilt. I also have a food addict. There's zero reason she could not eat any other goodie there. If I saw a bowl of frosting, I wouldn't touch it because obviously it's for a cake. And also, I know if I have a bite of something, I'm going to keep eating it because I'm addicted to it. We all have our just one bite or two moments at the bottom, and the item is all gone. She knew she would eat it. I have that problem with outshining popsicles. I have to pace myself with those. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. What do you think of this ATI? Do you think she is the person, or do you think it's the parents? Do you think the sister is really sorry, or do you think the sister's manipulating everyone? Let me know in the comments below. Have a great and wonderful day.